You ever wonder what betrayal sounds like? For me, it came dressed as a dinner conversation. My father leaned across the table, calm as a man ordering dessert, and said, "Tomorrow, we're moving into your apartment. No excuses." The words didn't fall, they detonated. My sister smirked like it was already done. Her boyfriend nodded, smug, as if my life belonged to them. I smiled, sharp, controlled, because I knew something they didn't. My name is Elena Ward, I'm 30 years old, and I've clawed my way from nothing into something that is mine. I bled for it, late shifts, sleepless nights, secondhand textbooks, code written under flickering lamps, and they thought success meant I'd bankroll their chaos forever. They were wrong, and what happened next shattered their little plan into ash. But before I tell you how that night ended, I need you to understand where the cracks began. Tell me in the comments if you've lived through something like this. I grew up in a house where love tilted always toward my sister, Lydia. She got praise for mediocrity, she got new cars, art lessons, catered parties. Me? I got rules. Expectations. Silence when I broke under the weight. I walked to school with second-hand books while she posed on rooftops with gelato when she borrowed my babysitting money and laughed in my face. My parents only shrugged. Don't be stingy, Elena. Be supportive. Supportive. That was my label. Reliable, even when it broke me. London once offered me a scholarship, my dream, but the hospital called with a bill. She's too young to help, they said. We need you. And just like that, my future was traded for theirs. Invisible daughters don't scream. We survive. We make maps of exits no one else sees. By the time I hit college, independence wasn't ambition, it was oxygen. 5 hours of sleep was a luxury. I worked until mornings blurred into headlights. I studied until numbers steadied my hands. That's when I met Caleb, a broke kid fixing laptops for gas money. He didn't call me stubborn, he called me relentless, like it was a compliment. We shared cheap tacos and deadlines that howled like sirens, and for the first time, someone saw me not as support, but as strength. Together, we poured everything into a tiny healthcare startup. We bribed testers with pizza, built prototypes that barely held together, but they worked. 10,000 users trickled in like a rumor. A hospital signed a pilot, not miracle, math, not luck, grit. By 27, I bought my own apartment. 1 bedroom. A cracked sofa from Craigslist. A window that gave me courage in the mornings. My name was the only one on the deed of freedom, pure and unborrowed. But when my parents toured my office, their smiles bent sideways, not admiration, appraisal. How much are your shares worth, Elena? And then came the whispers, 50,000 in credit cards. Trips, studios, indulgence, they were drowning, and I was their life raft. Aunt Miriam, the only one who ever told me the truth, whispered they're planning to move in. Save rent. Use you. That's when I met Marcus, a lawyer who drew maps of escape in black ink. Together we built armor, documents, clauses, firewalls. 860,000 in paper shields. If they tried to storm my walls, they'd find gates locked from the inside, because I wasn't just building value, I was building boundaries. So when that Saturday dinner at Magnolia's Bistro arrived, I was ready. The table smelled of garlic and expectation. My father leaned forward, voice smooth as velvet. Elena, tomorrow we're moving into your apartment. It's what families do. No excuses. My mother's smile sharpened. Lydia smirked. Her boyfriend twirled pasta like victory. I set down my fork. Folded my napkin. My pulse was steady, like a countdown. That's fine, I said. Calm. Cold, just bring $860,000. The table froze, forks midair. Glasses suspended. My sister's phone clattered to the floor. You're selfish, she spat. Always jealous. Always hoarding. Her boyfriend sneered. What? You think you're better than us? My father leaned closer, voice like ice. You're turning your back on family. Everyone will know. And I met his glare, unblinking. You mean the sacrifices I made? The dreams I buried? The bills I paid? No. I'm done being your safety net. Caleb slid his hand into mine. Solid, warm. Aunt Miriam nodded slowly, her lips pressed tight. For once, the walls didn't tower over me. I was eye level, and I held the lightning they feared. The storm hit fast. Posts online. Tears staged for strangers. Elena abandoned family. Greedy tech girl. Heartless. Old classmates judged, neighbors whispered. My parents stormed my office, red-faced, demanding their share. Security walked them out as my mother wailed, "You'll regret this." But I didn't, because regret is a leash, and that night, I cut it clean. 6 months later, the noise dimmed. We got married in a park by the river, quiet, simple. Our apartment smelled like cardboard and fresh plans. With Caleb and my tiny team, we pushed the product forward. Hospitals signed Users stayed. Meanwhile, my family shrank into their own decisions. My sister's boyfriend left. My parents sold the old house, downsized into silence. Even thunder learns to rain itself out. And me, I learned that freedom isn't fireworks. It's the hum of locked doors. It's the peace of knowing your worth doesn't belong to anyone else. So if you faced betrayal disguised as family love, if you've been guilt, drained, or used, I see you. Strength isn't something you should be punished for. Generosity without limits becomes a leash. Love without respect becomes theft. Choose the gate, choose the key, choose yourself. I didn't abandon my family, I abandoned the role they wrote for me, and for the first time, I stepped into a life that actually fit. If this story hit home, drop a comment below, tell me where you're watching from, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe, because we all deserve stories that remind us we're stronger than the roles we were forced into.